De La Garza, what a great early warm-up they do every day. And it's hard to follow that because they come in, they're high energy, and then they always chat us up like we're going to actually be interesting. I don't like the pressure.
No, I don't either.
I'd rather follow.
They put us on the spot every morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather follow
What are you going to talk about today? I don't know. We never know.
Plus, they have the engaging guest, the dynamic duo of Emmett and Dale bombarding you.
Until we push those two buttons to turn the mics on, we really have no clue.
It's kind of like, this is very true. There was very little, like this was not on my mind before the show. It's kind of like when Captain Kangaroo used to be doing his thing and Farmer Green Jeans would just show up. That's kind of like Dale, right?
Yeah.
There was no Emmett because in the early 60s,
Dale does plant a lot of potatoes.
There were no Hispanics on television in the early 60s.
Desi Arnaz Jr.
He was Cuban. Well, that was a big deal, him and Lucy, being biracial couple on television. They never even showed their bedroom. Now Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore had separate beds in the same bedroom.
So did Wilma and Fred.
Then we find out later that the Brady Bunch that he was gay. That'd be a great show now, right? Daddy Lives a Double Life.
I think that was called Soap.
Oh, the natural evolution. And Friends. There wasn't a gay friend, was there?
No. It was all white kids.
They were all white kids, yeah. Folks, the Wade and Carter Weather is brought to you daily by the great and committed folks at Deerland Feed. I don't mean they're committed like they're in the special hospital. I mean like they're committed to the show.
Absolutely.
66 degrees in Victoria, partly cloudy, going to a high today of 84. You're going to have, I like to call it mostly sunny. It'll be mostly sunny today with a high of 84. Told you Friday there was going to be some rain, and there was. And that has worked out really well. I
green things up a little bit.
I use that rain gauge building over there that there's a lake, a half-acre lake on the roof of this building. And it won't rain for 3 days, and there'll still be water there. I mean, There's no way that those people don't have a bucket in their hallway. I don't understand how people let that go on.
I got about 3/4 of an inch out at the 2-4 on Friday, so it was enough to
give you a reason to drink, didn't it? Yeah, celebrate.
That's an old video, Paul.
Well, that was an old video.
There it is. There we are.
Boy, we look better now. I got some sun. Can you see that?
I can see that, yeah. And you got
T-Lac cut my hair.
You got a little tightening up on the sides there.
Yeah, Dawn tightened it up a little bit. She likes to cut it till there's no gray left. I have to stop her. I'm like, hey, stop. It's going to be gone. Like, it's just skin. It's just skin. I think
the sides are they're probably shorter than they've ever been, but
yeah.
If you
still some gray,
you're gonna have to use the old just for men on the top, or she'll be shaving it bald.
I can't bring myself to it. I made a deal with God a long time ago. As long as it doesn't turn loose, I don't care what color it turns.
There you go.
I don't want to be bald. I got a pointed head.
Chris Jansen's first one in this morning. Good morning to you, Chris. Junior Samples in. Christina Wise, Tracy Price.
Hello, Luke.
Crystal Stringham, Marvin Mickish, John Paul Hull.
There you go. Hey, Luke Price getting the start tonight for the GSM Insurers minor league program.
Scott Snow, good morning to you. Patrick Strauss, the Iceman is in. Scott Tomko, Robin Moore Knipling, H.R. Mallory.
Put him on the bump.
B.J. Nelson, Jeff Fonseca. He says, when in doubt, always talk Cowboys. I don't know.
Yeah, 7-9, baby, 7-9.
We'll talk
okay. 7-10. Yeah. We're up to 7-10.
David Glass, good morning. Greg Garcia, Trey Molina, Lisa Poole, Stephen Kidder is in, Justin Glass, Kendra Douglas, Ryan Hopping.
What do you say about Bruce Jenner?
I don't know.
It's called Bruce Jenner. I don't know.
Where's Bobby Leister this morning?
The Leisterometer. Well, maybe when you jumped the gun and said 830 YouTubers, maybe you offended him.
Well, I had to get onto YouTube a different way. For some reason, none of our usual links were there this morning when I started up the laptop. So
Ryan Hopping, our favorite Indian listener, like Dances with Wolves. He's Ryan Hopping.
Lorena Bargenbrook, good morning to you. Says it's a beautiful morning.
Yep. I saw Rob yesterday. He had their son up there at the batting cages or at the baseball field throwing. It's baseball season. It's exciting. I can't get away from it, folks. It's baseball season. The Astros win 3 out of 4 against the greater Los Angeles area, Orange County Angels. What are they called?
LA Angels of Anaheim.
Whatever. Whatever.
I'm with you there, but at least they got 3 of 4. They're still one game under 500.
Yeah. Now keep that back though. That helps.
They're not a 500 team.
No,
I just can't help but think that in his rush to replace AJ Hinch,
they settled
for Dusty Baker, and Dusty just he's mailing it in.
He's old.
And this team should be winning 2 out of every 3, 3 out of every 5. They're not 3 out of 4 material. That's hard to do in baseball anyway.
But we agreed 14-7, 13-8, but not
12,
10-11.
12-9 maybe at the worst right now, but not 10-11.
McCullers pitched 7 innings yesterday and did really well, and then the Astros just kind of fold up. They give up the long ball every now and then, and, of course, that's what everybody's playing for these days. We're on a tear on Saturday. They won 16-2.
And that's part of it, right? You go on that kind of tear, and usually the next game is a bit of an offensive dud.
Yeah.
In all sports. You put up 40 points in a football game, you might struggle the next week. Well, not football because you don't play defensive football.
But Michael Brantley had 3 doubles on Saturday. He also took a couple of swings that even the announcers yesterday said, Michael's been here 3 seasons. And he made a couple of swings on Saturday, Friday and Saturday, that they said, I don't know if he's not seeing the ball. I don't know if it's the time of the game, but we've never seen Michael Brantley make a swing. One of them was a high fastball. It was a strike 3, and it was not a strike. And he doesn't swing very often at pitches that aren't good, and he doesn't strike out very often. And he swung over the top of a pitch that was high in the strike zone. It was looked like he was tomahawking it. I don't know.
So Judge Posey says his phone shows at least 5 people in before those that I mentioned, including Bobby, Rena Scherer, him, and a couple others. So, and Judge Posey's in. Well, we appreciate it.
Judge, thank you for that. The judge is always here, and you can count on him. It's a Monday. I feel personally he's kind of taking you to task on that. Like maybe you're not doing maybe you should get your phone out and do a little research, a little roll call. Rena's going to be there, and the judge is always there. So maybe we should have a list of people we just read, right on, like Lisa Poole. There you go. Wait. Right on. My Braves played a double header yesterday and had 1 hit in 14 innings.
There you go.
Remember when the Braves were great? How old is Greg Maddux now?
I don't know. He's probably still winning Gold Gloves. That pitcher there.
He can only win 15. Yeah. I asked you the other day, what is it about the Gold Gloves? Zach Greinke had won 6 straight Gold Gloves. Last year he played without an error. Didn't make an error on the mound.
And I recall some great plays that he made coming off the mound last year.
Didn't finish in the top 3 in the voting after having 6 in a row. I don't understand how they determine who gets a Gold Glove.
Well, he got 6 in a row. Time for somebody else to get the trophy, I guess.
Hey, how about that TB's thrown into us that today is J.P. Hull's birthday?
That's nice.
Now, do I report that? Do I need to confirm that from a second source?
You might.
JP, give us a call. 575-95.
But nobody's ever going to complain if your birthday gets celebrated
because we don't do birthdays
by mistake.
We don't do birthday wishes here.
Jags split a 4-game set, lost 2 on Saturday, won 2 yesterday, and the second game, and it was on Facebook if you want to go watch the end of it. Some miscues defensively, a lot of players left on base. And going into the 8th inning, down 11-3. Clawed back with 2 in the 8th, 11-5. We go in. We go into the bottom of the 9th, down 11-5. So we need 6 to tie, 7 to win. We load the bases, nobody out. Ground ball to the right side, scores a run. They can't turn 2. So 1 out, runners at second and third, and Maxwell Sheldon, the catcher, comes up and just clubs a 3-run home run over the left field fence.
That's a great name, Maxwell Sheldon.
So all of a sudden it's 11-9.
So there's a chance.
There is. You're telling. So you're saying there's a chance. Next thing you know, bases are loaded yet again. 11-9.
Have we gone to the bully yet?
Oh, a couple times at this point.
I mean, hey, you right fielder, come here. You ever thrown a strike before?
And I think they walk in the 10th run, so it's 11-10.
Now there's really a chance.
There's really a chance. 1 out still.
You're like pouring a highball up there in the press box.
I was a little Bob Uecker-ish.
Sure, just a bit outside.
Wild pitch scores the game tying run.
The other manager knows it's over. Terry
still 1 out.
The champagne is coming out.
Richard Gill comes to the plate, and he hits one into the gap in left center.
Richard Gill?
Yeah.
See, you know that kid gets called Dickie G. Dickie G, come on, baby, get us a hit. Dickie
Richie,
G.
I think they call him.
Richie G. There you go. You know it's got to have a nickname.
And their right fielder makes a heck of a catch and a smart play. Instead of trying to throw home and not get the run, he tries to double up one of the base runners who was, getting a little antsy to end the inning on a double play, and the run wouldn't count. But thankfully, the runner got back, and we score on a sac fly walk-off.
Were you screaming, "Get back!" from the press box? Hanging out, knocking Foster's cans out.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't recall a 7-run 9th inning to win it ever.
Nice.
Exciting.
JPL says, not his birthday, not on this show. There are no birthdays. We will report with glee that Saturday was Marty Stockbauer's birthday. Marty's probably listening too. She had a really nice event on Saturday evening, so it was very nice. We kind of did the double catch-up where we started out with a dinner at her place, and then
you had 2 ketchups?
Kind of a surprise.
Spicy and non-spicy?
Right? Kind of Whataburger ketchup.
Yeah. And then the Cowboys minute. I'm not sure I'm liking what I'm hearing for the upcoming NFL draft. The Cowboys, I think, still need help defensively. And all you keep hearing about is what they're going to do on the offensive side of the football in this draft.
You can't outscore everybody.
I mean, is the defensive side that bad that there's nobody worth taking in the 10th pick? Or is Jerry Jones just so gung-ho always on offense?
If we can outscore them, we can win.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mike Bloschke. Hope you're doing well, bud.
So
saw him this weekend.
HR Mallory, good morning. So yeah, I don't know. That's our Cowboys minute. If they go to this draft and start drafting offensive players again.
Have you heard any Dak update? Do we have any? Does anybody know? Has anybody heard that Dak Prescott's now riding a bicycle? Anything?
He's not going to massage parlors. You can bet that.
No. Are we expecting this guy to come back and lead us? And when he doesn't this year, because he's still going to be hurt, the Red Rifle's gone for $10 million. Yeah. Who's going to play? Right? Is that Schultz kid going to play quarterback, the tight end?
Yeah.
Who's going to play quarterback if Dak's not healthy?
Who's going to fill their shoes?
Right? I'm on this big Silver Eagle rolling through the night. I can't figure out who's going to be under center.
No, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. I can tell you who can be under center of your vehicle if you get it upside down, high centered. Allen's Wrecker Service.
578-6300.
Forced a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but it's Monday.
The Blazer.
Out of practice.
You remember the Blazer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out there. It's still sitting on the field of broken dreams out there at Allen's Wrecker Service, waiting on some wiring. Allen said, I'm going to fix it for you. I said, okay. He's been that busy. It just sits there deteriorating.
Is James Dean sitting in his rollover Porsche
right
next to it?
It's getting a little gamey out there on the backside of that lot. But folks,
that's what I think of that Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Reach out to that picture. They're all at the diner.
At the diner, yeah. Everybody had. I so badly wanted the one that had the neon.
Nice,
for the windows. Yeah.
Sure. The VCS companies could get that for you. You need neon. You need surround sound, surveillance, security systems. So many homes now you see with that VCS sign out in front of them. It's just, it is a real deterrent. I think if I was an idiot, I could be an idiot, but if I was an idiot, if I was going to be a thief, I would go to the house that did not have the VCS sign out front. That just makes sense to me. And I think that's what they can do for you. Peace of mind. It's about $50 a month.
I've always liked the element of surprise. Why put that sign out there?
Yeah.
Take your chances, buddy.
Hang that one on the front door of this house protected by Smith & Wesson. Come on in.
Exactly.
I still got my bump stop. Come on in. The VCS companies will take care of you and your family.
You might want to turn that off.
Make a note and turn that off. I've got a notification.
Right there on Kerr Boulevard. So make sure you get by the VCS companies for all your communication needs. Chesnick Furniture Company, 116 West One Lynn. They've only been doing business in Victoria for 101 years, folks. They know furniture. They know the trends, the designs, the styles that'll last longer than, they're not going to give you that burnt orange fall leaf scene that was popular in the 70s that every grandparent had in their living room. But they're going to give you styles that last. They're going to give you furniture that's quality that will last. Best brand recliners and furniture. There's just one of many to choose from at Chesnick Furniture Company, right there at 116 West One.
With other accoutrements.
They've got it all.
And today, hey, Veracruz, come back in. A Veracruz doubleheader. Have a salad at lunch and fajitas for dinner. Get in there. If you could only eat one place in town every day, Veracruz would be a good call.
Yeah, because you'll never get the same thing
chicken,
twice.
You got it all. Read you this headline. Texas woman faced felony embezzlement charges for 2 decades over a VHS rental from a closed Oklahoma video store. A former Oklahoma resident now living in Texas recently learned that she had an active warrant for a felony embezzlement charge for the past 2 decades after allegedly never returning a rented videotape in 1999.
We've got kids driving in the car asking what videotapes are.
It's old school. It's like a big cassette tape.
They don't know what a cassette tape is.
Well, it's like a big reel-to-reel type. They don't know what that is either, do they? It's like what they did before digital. Chances are your mommy made some mistakes, and it's captured on that.
Or your dad did too.
Right? Junior says Bobby is the best at Chesnick. If you get down to Chesnick Furniture, that is a beautiful thing. You can ask for.
Which defunct video company did she owe the money to? I'm guessing it's either Hollywood Video or Blockbuster. Does it say?
Let's see. I'm looking. Karen McBride. They even bust her name out now. That's how bad it is. Karen, she's a felon. Told Fox 25 that she was made aware of the charge when she tried to change her name on her driver's license after getting married in Texas. Guess she left her cousin she was married to in Oklahoma. McBride said she tried to make an appointment with the DMV under restrictions put in place during the coronavirus, but received an email back that she had an issue in Oklahoma. Embezzlement.
I'll tell you what.
Embezzlement. It was a she never returned Sabrina the Teenage Witch to movie place in Norman, Oklahoma.
Movie place.
Been
to Norman a few times, never seen a movie place. I mean, why would that? I mean, if there's nobody even left to press charges, how does that warrant stay out there?
Still got to adhere to the rule of law, Ash.
Okay.
There are still laws in place. See, Lisa Poole says Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. Yes, that was on a tape.
You know how that's not that is absolutely purely an accident, because nobody in the right mind would ever keep a copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Sabrina.
No.
By the way, Tommy Lee filmed in wide angle lens for that video. It was necessary. We can't get them all in the same frame. Holster that rig, will you? What do you got? We had stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Time
for the Oscars recap, since we're talking movies.
Cue the crickets.
All right, next topic.
There you go. That's all we had to say about the Oscars.
Apparently the Dems were so worried.
Be kind. Rewind. Remember when they even had
they would fine you.
No, they had a rewind.
Oh, yeah, you can,
that was like a great Christmas gift one year, because supposedly using your VCR, your VHS recorder player,
video cassette recorder,
to rewind
wore the heads out
because the tape. Then they came out with one that disengaged the head in reverse. It's easy. But then they made one that just was a rewinder, and you were uptown if you had the rewinder. By then I had moved on to cable. You
had a lot of money if you could afford the rewinder.
Yeah.
And these things weren't cheap. I remember the first VHS machine was like $1,400.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy. What's this about Joe Biden wanting people to maybe eat more chicken?
I tell you that I didn't believe what I was reading. So the Dems have for a while, the left has for a while had like no meat Monday. That if everybody just didn't eat any meat on Monday, I thought this was Catholicism. I thought that was Fridays. But anyway, if nobody ate meat on Monday, that it would make the earth a greener place because there would be fewer cattle. I follow their logic, people. There would be fewer cattle and therefore less flatulence and a smaller footprint by the animals. The reality is that that didn't work.
No.
So Joe Biden has come out with the conversation of putting essentially a limit on the beef that you can ingest. The number was a ridiculously low 4 pounds per American per year. So if you were to eat a 1/4 pounder a week, then every month you would eat a pound of meat. January, February, March, April. That's it. No more beef for you for the year. 1/4 pounder a week.
A month?
A month. Right? I'm sorry. Yeah. So that one a month in 12 months, you'd have 4 pounds. Okay. There you go. That's it. 1/4 pounder a month. That's all you get.
So you get a pound a quarter.
Yeah. Or a 1/4 a pound. Yeah. It's dumb. I'm trying to work with you.
I know. You
told me today, make me look smart. I just stand here and somehow it works. And by the way, in other news of Joe Biden being really in touch with people, there is a chance that we're going to cancel July 4th. Joe Biden says
just a month after saying, well, if we're all smart, we can celebrate July 4th with small, giving you permission to celebrate small July 4th gatherings.
We can do it.
And then last week comes out and says, well, if you don't keep taking your vaccine.
We can do it. We're Americans. We can rally. We can do it.
BJ, we're going to get to that because I got one more.
Good point.
Junior Sample says 4 pounds a week is his requirement.
Right.
I eat that when I eat a steak.
Oh, easy pound.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm a pounder on a steak.
Well, I used to. Now that they cost so much now. Beef's so expensive. It's more like half.
Now you have to buy it in bulk.
Yeah. But listen to this with Joe Biden. He was prepping for an interview. I'm thinking this might have been, was this last week?
I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nancy, whatever you want me to do.
That's Nancy Pelosi.
Am I on? No, we don't want him to talk.
Now listen to it again.
I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nancy, whatever you want me to do.
I stutter.
Am I on? No, we don't want him to talk.
So now he's asking Nancy Pelosi for permission to do what he needs to do. This is the president of the United States, folks.
They've got the setting. It's legit. That's Joe Biden sitting there. He's in a studio. There's a backdrop to him. And then she is on a screen projected in front of him. And somebody's going to interview, in theory, both of them.
I'm surprised they're both not wearing masks.
And she says, am I on? You see her turn her head. She looks and she goes, no, we don't want him to talk. We don't want him to talk. He's the president of the United States, but we don't want him to talk. I'm Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House.
More appalling than that, he's asking Nancy Pelosi for permission to answer questions.
Yeah.
You're the president. She's the speaker. She has nothing to do with you. We didn't elect her as Speaker of the House. You morons elected her the Speaker of the House. California elected her as a representative. We, the people, and half of us didn't elect you, Joe, but you represent the people. You don't need her damn permission to answer questions on a panel.
That reminds me, I've got to fill Ash's Adderall prescription today.
My allergy medicine didn't work. It's supposed to be 24 hours. It's not even lasting 12.
It's tune in tomorrow as we sacrifice baby chickens. I mean, what's left? We're going to have to start killing things on the show. You get that amped up on a Monday. It's not like you. No, H.R. Mallory says he's a puppet. You figure they'd get a lookalike for public appearances, interviews, like in the movie Dave. We should just start calling him Dave. Don't be a Dave.
There was an interesting article in the New York Post, and I mean I read the New York Post a lot of times just because they like to stir it up.
Yeah, they're the tabloid one. They're one of the red and black, but they have had some. They really broke the news about Cuomo.
They broke the news about Hunter Biden, Remember, their whole Twitter feed was banned.
We're probably more New York Post than we are New York Times. A little
I don't know. The New
tabloidish.
York Times is pretty fake. Don't forget, they loved Hitler and didn't think there was anything going on in Nazi Germany in the 30s either, right?
They've got a new editor since then, but I'm with you, following you. Christina Weiss says Joe's a medicated puppet.
But the New York Post had a story over the weekend comparing new Joe to old Joe, and basically just saying there's no way Joe is calling the shots when you look at his stances and how and they said this, there's no problem over time people changing their views as they become educated or learn more or
Right.
just soften their stance on something. But it's dangerous that Joe Biden has taken such a 180-degree stance on so many topics in such a short time.
Well,
They question who's actually pulling his strings and leading this country.
Joe has always been, and I do think, and I mean this, if I'm studying him as somebody who would try to get in his brain, he's little, he's not a big guy, and he did have a speech impediment. And as a result, Joe's very emphatic. He measures his words, and he was always very emphatic in what he said, because much like Mel Tillis could sing without stuttering, Joe can preach without stuttering. If he's emphatic and he means what he's saying, come on, Jack. I mean, that's the way Joe communicates.
Did you watch his line of questioning that was aired over the weekend when confirming Clarence Thomas to the Supreme Court?
No, what was it hilarious?
Oh, it was just, you know what I'm talking about, Clarence. Natural law. Natural law. That's what we need out of our Supreme Court. We need someone who follows natural law. You know what natural law is. Right. Clarence I don't know what natural law is.
So how about, though, that Biden, yes, I lost my train of thought.
Biden is very
emphatic. I know what it was. He's on an interview, and this is back when they were debating, back when Hillary Clinton was running for office, and they were talking about the definition of marriage. So instead of being like you would think Joe Biden might say, hey, man, love's hard enough to find. Love who you want. Be happy. I don't know where all that falls in when it comes to Medicare and benefits. And because, see, folks, all of this stuff about like same-sex marriage, it's always only been about money. Now, the religious right will come at you and say, hey, this is not natural. Well, we know that. We also know that there's nowhere near 10% of this country is homosexual. Not even close. But the media wants you to believe it's 50-50.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Joe Biden is making fun of the fact that they're being asked these questions. And Biden is his emphatic self. And he's just going, come on, Jack. He goes, we got things to talk about on the Senate floor today. And I'm being asked questions about homosexual marriage. Come on. It doesn't take anything but common sense to know that marriage is between a man and a woman. He could not be any more emphatic. He makes fun of the fact that other people think other ways. And now, just one failed presidential term later, he's like, Joe Biden, the man of the people. And I've always been for all the people. Why, even back when I was trying to help Robert Byrd solicit KKK members, I gave them cards that said, call me if you ever change your mind. I'm Joe Biden, and I'm your guy. It is the worst hypocrisy of all time because he's so emphatic. Are you kidding me? We got important things to talk about on the Senate floor, and they're asking me about gay marriage.
And that was
Anybody knows
that was kind of the point of the New York Post. Is there wasn't a evolution of learning and education to get to a change in position. It was just a light switch flipped.
I agree.
And here he is. So they're questioning why.
So HR Mallory, Lisa Poole points out, hey, I think they may have found a lookalike. His looks have changed. I'm going to tell you something that's interesting.
I don't think so.
The earlobes, dude. The earlobes are different.
Plastic surgery. It's apparent.
Do you think he had a facelift?
He's had a lot of plastic surgery. Yeah.
Well, Rush Limbaugh just called him plugs because of he was bald, put his hair plugs in. Called him plugs.
But
I miss Rush.
But yeah, I think it's plastic surgery. Still sounds the same. Unless you're Rich Little. Hard to do that.
I love it when he talks about, there's the three things. One, that's the one thing. That's it. That's the thing. Two, the two thing. Three, we the people, all that. We can do better. We can do better. We don't need to make America great again. America's already great, but we can do better.
I tell you what, I'm not sure America is great the way this country's going in this first quarter of his presidency.
Where are we at, Ash? Where is a State of the Union address? We're almost into May. He's on his first 100 days is done.
They're going to argue about that. Well, he spoke about the border. That was close enough.
We're sneaking up on his first 100 days being done. You feel better? You feel safer as a country? Russia's got arms and people at Ukraine. The South North Koreans are firing missiles again. We've got China upset with us.
Iran's making moves to enrich uranium and build nuclear weapons if they don't already have one.
Israel's lobbing rockets around. Putin's calling Biden a punk.
China's playing war games in the South China Sea.
Well, it is their sea.
Well, it's disputed. Everybody disputes it except for China.
Right. It's really part of Taiwan, but that's not the point.
Yeah, that's not the point. Yeah.
Scott Tomko says that Biden had plastic surgery and needs to get his money back.
I don't know if it's that bad. I've seen worse. Yeah. Clayton Myers has a few facelifts for sure. He can't even open his eyes.
Right.
Blindfold him with dental floss. He looks like me after a couple of strong whiskeys.
Right. Like about 10:30 most mornings. It's after that coffee kicks in.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Ash drives into Starbucks and goes, dude, duplicate this, can you?
Run it through your chemical processor, see what's in there.
Craig Simmons is back to Monday. Mondays.
But Myers says her butthead from
he looks like butthead, yes.
Does. Yeah.
Ryan Hopping points out again the Braves lost 2 games yesterday with 1 hit. See, Ryan Hopping, that's his Indian name. Of course he's a Braves fan.
Bob Constantine says his ears are actually headphones.
Right? I wonder why that little Bose logo was on his earlobe. So apropos.
Oh, man.
Tell you what else. Today's a great day to go by. Your Mazda's still there. And you know what they did? They took the price off the windshield.
Yeah, because they'll deal with you on it.
They're going to deal with you on the. It's a CX-3. It's a nice little car.
Be a great car if you're looking for a graduation present for a kid or somebody going off to college. You want a car to run around town in. It's an awesome little car, hatchback, or as they call them in Europe, 5 doors.
Yeah, and under. That's because your buddy always rolls into the back. He don't care. Under $20,000, get by there. Scott Thomas says, y'all keep it up and the drunk lady's going to call. We missed the drunk lady. I like it when the drunk lady calls. I like that.
She ain't calling.
No. The Atzenhofer dealership since 1926, folks. That's Victoria's car dealership.
You don't have to call them. You can browse online at atzenhofer.com.
Yeah, Ed Atzenhofer would. Though, you think about a gentleman like Ed Atzenhofer that built that dealership. He did it one car at a time, shaking hands with people. Back when you could shake hands, remember those days?
No.
And he would shake hands with people and cut
it. You didn't have to use hand sanitizer.
Right. It didn't exist. And you just spilled enough whiskey during the day to keep your hands clean. But Ed Atzenhofer would shake your hand and sell you a car back in the day. And they still do that at Atzenhofer today. Get by there this week. White Trash Services, soon to be the preferred rubbish remover in Victoria.
550-1826. They can be the official trash collection partner of your life.
And they want you to have a trash-tastic day. And the way to do that is to get all that stuff out of your attic, out of your garage. Spring cleaning, I'm giving you the rest of the month for spring cleaning because at that point it becomes summer. It's May.
And you don't want to be hauling that stuff in the
You said you were going to do it. Get it out of there. Get it out of the house. 550-1826. Razor IT Solutions wants to reach out and give JP Hull a warm birthday wish. JP,
no, call him and wish him a happy birthday today.
Maybe 38. What do you think he is?
I'm trying to think.
He's in his early 40s. And 43. Let's go with 43.
I might be a little bit over. I'm thinking 41.
41. Okay. One of the bushes. He's one of the bushes.
But he's so good with data. He could fix that to wherever he wants it.
Oh, JP Hull's one of those guys that has like 9 passports. Yeah, I'm Antonio Domingo. Oh, okay.
Come on in.
Razor IT Solutions. Let him help you with your data, your encryption. Let him help you protect your brand, build a brand, collect money, donate. He could set up a donate to Wade and Carter fund.
I like Trey Molina. Trey knows. He just says not 38. He's not, he lets you keep you guessing.
So Trey is roughly JP's age. So Trey, how old are you, bud?
Keep him guessing with Kidder.
Law offices of Steve Kidder. Oh, I think I just had a cardiac arrest. Oh, that tightened up. Law offices of Steve Kidder tell you that if you've got a criminal issue, you need a lawyer. You got a civil matter that is more than 2 pages long.
You need a lawyer.
You need a lawyer. People hide things in the fine print, and they do it because they have a lawyer. So you need a lawyer.
Trust me, the fine print.
The law offices of Steve Kidder are there for you. And then Complete 360. Reach out over here and get you.
Steve Kidder says Face Off 2 starring Joe Biden and Jerry Jones.
Nice. But there's no fight scene at the end because they're both too old. Yeah.
If any,
I like
you. You want to know who's had the worst plastic surgery of those two? In my opinion, Jerry Jones.
Kenny Rogers.
He's not in there. Can't disrespect him.
You can't?
No, not Kenny.
We liked Kenny.
Yeah, loved Kenny.
You got to know where to hold.
Except on his duets, I wasn't a big fan.
Oh, it's terrible. No,
that's just country music for you.
Complete 360. Get you a smoothie so that you don't look like Kenny. Get you a smoothie. Get you a panini.
Remember when he had
they're all such cute names.
Remember when he had the lipo?
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Nobody says get you a cardboard cookie.
No.
No, it's get a panini. Get a smoothie. It's very latent. Get in there. You'll like it all. All the food is fantastic. At both locations, by the way, over here next to Woodlawn Bowl and up north next to Buffalo Wild Wings. Since we're doing the next two, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you about Terry Murray and Motto Mortgage. She's next to
5454.
Jason's Deli, Sally's Beauty Supply, right there next to Dragon Palace. She's the next to. Get in there and let her help you drastically cut your mortgage payment. Or if you want to make the same payment and pay your house off a lot quicker, she can do that.
She can do that? Well, absolutely.
Right. Jeff Fonseca says, guess JP's age and win a Magic 95 decal.
Is there a hint in there? Or is he 90? He's not 95.
He's not 95. I got him for 40. I'm going to go all out and say he's like 43. All right. I think he's 43.
I'd say 41, but I don't know.
That's pretty young.
But then I talked to him, and I know he had kids a little bit later in life.
So. Well, I think his wife is really looking forward to voting in her first election. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, early voting again 7 to 7, I think, right today.
7 to 7 all day long at the Patty Dodson. Is that right?
Yeah, Patty Dodson today.
If you're a Texas Tech graduate, you can go in there, vote, and get you a penicillin shot.
You want here. I don't. This is the response.
Jennifer Marr says he's 46.
Okay, well, that's
now. Is that a guess, or is she saying that like straight up 46? Like
I think it's a guess.
Like my husband's the sheriff, and I just pulled his records. He's 46, and he has an outstanding warrant.
Well, you know what? Then I'm going to go 45. I'm changing my guess. 45.
I think Jennifer knows. I think Jennifer might have graduated high school with him. See what I'm saying there? That's what happened there.
She might know.
Well, or he graduated while she was a freshman. Maybe that's what happened.
Not everybody marries a child bride just because you did.
Only those of us that are very fortunate. Good morning, Wade and Carter. Let's just get it out there. Let's get it out. Get it off your chest.
Okay, I'm going to get out. This is Dale. I am running for the CIS billboard number 4.
I'm sorry, you got the wrong number.
I've got some information for you that's going to, and it's going to be a shameless promotion for the Bill Posey show tomorrow.
Tell us.
They are actually going to have a debate of the bond on CIS bond.
Emmett Alvarez versus who? That is Can't Miss Radio. Tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Dale, thanks for calling.
Appreciate that, Dale. Thank you.
Tomorrow, 6:30 a.m., Emmett Alvarez and Dale Zook square off
in a Bond debate.
In a Bond debate, great friends, and
Bond.
and James Bond,
Debate Bond.
right? BJ Nelson says, "Go Dale."
So over the weekend, I don't know if you saw the headlines, and
Probably not.
my wife and I were talking about it yesterday, but the crisis in India, and this is serious. This is the serious moment of the show this morning. And we've never doubted COVID. We've doubted our response to it. We've doubted some of the actions taken. Never doubted COVID. We've doubted the origin and
Right.
China's role in it, the Communist Chinese Party, not the people of China, who were, in my opinion, subjected to. Now we're finding out that this thing was around way beyond the December of 19.
Right.
I mean, back as far as maybe 2018. So I'm thinking somewhere along the way, this got out. Either China knowingly put it into its people to kind of see what would happen, or they just tried to shut up and not do anything about it and hope it would go away.
Right.
But all that aside, what's going on in India right now is an absolute crisis. They've had a mutant strain because the first round of COVID, if you can call it that, really didn't impact India that badly.
No, remember, everybody was wondering, why is India immune?
Yeah.
Everybody, is it the curry? Like, no humor. They're like, what is it?
Is it their diet? Is it the hydrochloroquine that they all take? And now things are really bad. I mean,
they all took it for malaria.
They can't generate enough oxygen for bottles for people who have breathing issues. They don't have enough PPE. They're clamoring for vaccines. And you've got this administration. Well, other countries have rushed to their aid and said, here's what we're doing. Even countries that don't have the means to do something are doing something. And this administration is sort of just sitting there twiddling their thumbs going, well, we could probably do this. We might be able to do this. Instead of sending $500 million to Pakistan for gender studies, let's just reroute that money a little bit, a few degrees on the compass point, and send it over to India to help them.
Absolutely. Who cares about the gender studies in Pakistan? Still, nobody can tell me why we care about that.
We've got Johnson & Johnson vaccines sitting around because nobody wants them, which if you want the vaccine, there is no reason why all of a sudden the Johnson & Johnson should freak you out when 7 people out of 7 million develop blood clots when there are more medicines on the shelf that have a higher risk of blood clots and other complications than the Johnson & Johnson.
You hear them advertised all the time on television. Yeah. By the way, you say, if you start seeing blood in your urine, please cease taking this. I mean, it's something they've recognized over the studies, and the FDA makes them disclose it.
And I'm not speaking for or against vaccines here or this vaccine. I'm just saying, if you're for it and all of a sudden you put the brakes on because my question is, what isn't the government telling us when 7 out of 7 people have causes you to recommend to stop doing it? But we've got a bunch of the AstraZeneca vaccine that a lot of countries around the world are using and have approved. We have it. Let's ship that to India. Let's get off our duffs, Joe Biden, and do something meaningful for the people of India. Because you're sitting there talking about it all weekend. Well, I guess we might be able to do this. We could do this.
You want to know why he's not doing it?
Because he can't make a damn decision.
Because India is a viable competitor to China for the manufacture of inexpensive goods.
I didn't even think of that.
You'll recall that President Trump went to India, was greeted extremely warmly by the people there. People remember lining the streets, waving American flags, because he sent a message to China. Keep messing with us, and we'll let the Indians assemble our televisions. Well, now the Chinese are saying, hold on a while. Let's let them flounder for a while. Joe Biden, a puppet of the Chinese, a puppet of the Communist Party. Joe Biden is dutifully waiting in the wings as he's been instructed to do.
Clinton Meyer says you're probably more likely to get clots from COVID than from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. True story.
There you go.
Yeah. BJ Nelson asks, why are we paying for COVID tests, but the vaccines are free?
Yeah, it's kind of like you have all the guns you want, but there's no more ammo.
BJ says Biden isn't talking on the weekend; he's resting. But yeah, I mean,
Lisa Poole says I'm exactly right. I think if you look at it globally, China's like, no, not yet. Wait a few more weeks. Wait. And China may be sending a message to India. Hey, you guys keep trying to get on board our U.S. debt train, and we're gonna drop the virus on you.
Well, don't forget, India was pushing back against Chinese incursions along their border and actually beating the Chinese troops along that border. So maybe you got to want. I mean, you never know. China has not been forthcoming with this thing, and you got to wonder if all of a sudden maybe they just disperse something into the air that makes us a worse.
Never waste a good crisis.
No, but dismayed at Joe Biden's lack of a response for a guy who's such a humanitarian, supposedly, been sitting on the fence all weekend while the rest of the world has rushed to India's aid.
You would think that being presidential might involve an address that says, folks, this is a serious time. We're going to do everything we can to help the people.
And my wife, Cheryl, had a great observation. Where's the World Health Organization on this? Where's the UN? Everybody pours money into these organizations, and they're kind of sitting there silent other than going, oh, we got a crisis. Where the hell is all our money going to these organizations?
Right. Back into the Clinton Foundation.
Into all the despots who run the UN and into their families, as we found out in the 90s and 2000s. And the World Health Organization was complicit in covering up any of the COVID out of China when it was first.
If they don't do something quick, we're going to have to send Dana Moore de la Garza over to India. Help people pre-plan for their demise, their inevitable demise.
It's sad, seriously.
It is sad on a serious note. And it's even sadder that our country is doing nothing to help. This is the caring, empathetic left at work. When it's time to make a decision to get something done, with the Democrats, it's like when all is said and done, there's a lot more said than done.
Well, they're too busy manufacturing crises in this country when you look at the data that don't exist. So anyway.
652-9157. That's the number to reach out to Dana Moore. Let her come out and visit with your family very privately. And she'll sit and talk to you about how you want to be remembered, how you want to have a funeral. You say, well, what do you need to know? Well, I need to know, where do you want to be buried? Do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to have a casket? What kind of casket? How much money do you want to spend? Do you want to have the service at a chapel or at your church? Do you want to have a certain type of music? Do you want – it goes on and on and on. And she has a checklist to make you think about things. No forced decisions, no cost to visit with her. I highly recommend. She's helped my family. I highly recommend you reach out to Dana Moore de la Garza, 652-9157. We talked about Terry Murray already, but Modern Mortgage is there for you. Wind services, wind generators, solar panels, electrical, plumbing, emergency plumbing. You got a leak right now? Call Wind. They have certified and master plumbers on staff waiting to help you. It is storm season. There's no getting around it. You need to get on the list for a generator right now. Brother Gary may need to come stay with you.
Sure.
So there you go. You may need Brother Gary. He doesn't go places without electricity. So right. So get a generator. USA Concrete Coatings. Charlie Garcia and his crew will come out, put down a polyurethane finish. It's antimicrobial, antibacterial, won't fade, won't chip, won't peel, won't stick to your tires. But wait, there's more. Order today. Get a new set of steak knives. 578 home. That's USA Concrete.
I saw a nice post from Charlie over the weekend. They bought a dog for their son and working with him to be a companion dog.
He's a wonderful guy. Charlie's a great father and a great friend. I highly recommend you give them a shot at your business. And then, of course, the Great Barn. Reach out to Cheryl for your next event, party, wedding, Kinsey. You give her any type of decorating idea, she will decorate your life and make Kenny Rogers roll over. Reach out to Cheryl at 920-6803.
BJ Nelson says she was fortunate enough to attend the barbecue at Allen West's home this weekend.
I noticed Wade and Carter didn't get a bid to that. Just saying. I thought it was very interesting. The usual suspects were there. Sans Wade and Carter.
But we're working to get Allen West on the show this week.
Yeah.
So hopefully Wednesday or Thursday he will join us, not in studio, but via the phone. So, what else was there this to talk about?
James Kerr tells you straight up, a man that's been in other countries and seen this happen. Too many Americans are ignorant or apathetic to what is going on. That, my friends, is how you lose your liberties.
You know, and the sad thing is that was really true growing up. Americans didn't have a clue what was going on in the rest of the world. They knew nothing about the rest of the world.
Losers give up their liberty. Winners go home and read the Constitution.
But you've got an administration that is just, I mean,
I made you laugh.
You did.
Tell us
it was good.
It was good.
I don't know. I've got friends with family in India, and I'm concerned for them and their families. And Joe Biden and the administration is just sitting on the fence, stammering through this, not answering questions without a plan, because he doesn't have one.
How many people in India? Remember, you told me that in the United States, there's like 900 people per square mile.
Cheryl will figure this out because she's like, how does it get so bad in India? And I'm like, I don't know. I read something this morning. There's a double mutant strain, and I joked, the triple mutant strain is coming.
Double secret probation.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of getting that way. But she started looking through the data, and she asked me, what's the population density of the United States? And I didn't know. And she said about 900 people per square mile or something like that. And I'm like, okay. Then she's like, what's the population density of India? And I didn't know. And you and I pointed this out, that places that seem to have higher population densities, at least in this country, got hit harder. New York City, right. LA, New Jersey. And the population density of India is like 12,000 people per square mile.
Versus 900 here. Think about that, people. Everywhere you are, there's
10 more
people standing right next to you.
And that probably plays a large role in why things are so bad in India right now.
He says, can I do an entire show on what JP's talking
Sean Connery?
I don't know if I could do that.
It'd be tough. You'd crack up at some point. BJ Nelson says Alan West said he loved you guys.
He was so good. Yes, we love Alan West too.
Who are those guys? Who?
Yeah, he's like, what?
Yeah.
When I remember when Barbara Walters was a big deal before she was on The View. She's actually been dead now for about a decade, but they've got her on The View. And Baba would interview people, and she interviewed Sean Connery, and so she brought up some quote from like 1964. Sean Connery was a Mr. Universe, and he was a man's man from Scotland. And Barbara said, did you really say that, occasionally a woman might deserve a good smacking? And it was when we were really into feminism and all that. And instead of going, that's taken out of context, love. Instead of something like that, he just goes, absolutely. And you get a woman, she gets out of line every now and then, you got to give her a good smack. And Barbara was just like stunned that he admitted it. And then, of course, it was huge news. Now he would just be a rapper. It would be no big deal. No. Just beat your women. It's okay. It's like if you're a rapper.
That's what your mother said, Trebek.
Right? That's right.
So nice kid. Still one of the better ones. And I believe on a serious note, I believe the forensic audit of the Maricopa County election is going forward today. The Dems tried to block it last week with lawsuits and all sorts of stuff. And the judge said, put up $1 million bond and we'll hold it for a little bit. They weren't going to stop it, and the Dems said no. So they're cheap. They don't have any money, but they're still concerned. This will be interesting. We're talking voting machines. We're talking voter data. I mean, this is digging into the weeds of what went on in Maricopa County, and there's others going on around the country as well. This is just probably the biggest and the largest because of where it is, Phoenix. Basically Phoenix.
Right.
So this will be interesting to see what's going to happen.
James Kurth rubbing it in that he got an invite to the Allen West, now called the Allen West fiasco. Yeah. But he had to go to a ball game. So not only did he get invited, he just didn't go. We couldn't get an invite. I mean, we may have had to turn it down.
I would have had to.
We would have probably asked Alan to reschedule. There's got to be a song in there about on the Maricopa County line. There's got to be a song in there, right? That's got a ring to it, Maricopa County. The Mendoza line is hitting it, right? 200, the Maricopa County line would be like the accountability. There's a song in there about voting and
if not, it'll certainly be referenced depending on how this audit plays out for a long, long time.
The day America died at the Maricopa County line.
Ryan Hopping says, why do you think they skip over the fact that listeners want to purchase memorabilia and there's no link? Because we don't have a link.
We don't have a link, Ryan.
Working on that. Takes time.
JP Hull's
We have day jobs.
JP Hull's been celebrating his birthday since January. We can't get any help.
We're working on it. Merch link. See, time to go. We're gonna leave a little early and we'll go work on that merch link.
We're not early actually. I want you folks to stay tuned. I dare you to stay tuned and listen to the first 10 minutes of Brother Gary alongside his co-host, the Hall of Famer, Ralph Salazar. Ralph being demoted by Wade and Carter to co-host status. It's the Brother Gary Moses Show with special guest and sound man, Ralph Salazar.
Tell you what, Ralph would take that demotion. He'd love to see Brother Gary work the board and do all the hard work, all the heavy lifting.
You know how long that would last? About until Gary could find a way to get the songs back on. It'd be gone. That long, he says. Gary wouldn't do it without Ralph. They're
absolutely not.
No, I'm only here because
they're like Siamese twins.
Because of Ralph, I'm here.
Separated.
Although you know what, Ralph might be the only guy in town who has better hair than Brother Gary.
Yeah,
he's got good hair, doesn't he?
There's no just for men in that hair.
No. He looks good.